My 30 female husband, 33 male, accused me of murder, out of the blue.
How do I salvage this?
This is long and ridiculous. Sorry. My 30 female husband, Luke, 33 male, had a sister, Laura, 29 female. We were all close and saw each other 2-3 times a month, along with their parents. Almost 6 months ago, Laura fell down the stairs at their family home and died. It was a freak accident. There's a window on the half landing and she hit her head on the sill. I was the last person to see her. I was there for less than 10 minutes and she was in her pajamas making coffee. I didn't even stay for a drink, and I struggle with how such a brief and meaningless interaction could have been her last. She deserved so much more. My husband and I have only been married for a year, but we've been together for 4 and have known each other for 20 plus. When Laura's parents found her, they called my husband straight away and we rushed over. We faced the whole thing as a family. In the days after, Luke started quizzing me.
Exactly what we talked about, what she was wearing, where we were standing, etc. It progressed to saying I was providing conflicting information, on tiny details he was deliberately misunderstanding, and accusing me of withholding information because I couldn't tell him things like what pajamas she was wearing. This escalated quickly but lasted for less than a week, as I lost my cool and made it clear that I was done answering questions.
He didn't bring it up again and I wrote it off as a grief quirk.
His behavior was generally that of a normal, grieving person. Last Friday, he outright accused me of murdering her, in front of his parents.
Out of the blue. We were all stunned.
There was an inquest which recently concluded, and there was never any doubt the verdict would be accidental death.
He said it was completely obvious and he couldn't believe that no one else could see it.
He claims I went through his phone and found his messages with Laura. I have absolutely no idea what messages he's talking about. I have never looked at his phone. And that I went over to confront her and things got out of hand, and I pushed her downstairs. By the end he was shouting about going to the police and getting the inquest overturned, and how I wasn't going to get away with it. Let me be clear, Laura and I had a great relationship. We all did.
I have no idea where this has come from, other than these messages I haven't seen, and even then, I don't think there's anything I could ever see on someone's phone that would drive me to murder. It's just ridiculous. He's been with his parents since this happened and will not talk to me at all. I've had some contact with his mom, but she's not being very communicative.
The last I heard, she didn't know what messages he was referring to either.
I am still completely stunned and I have no idea how to proceed.
I made a commitment to be there for him always, and I understand that grief can manifest in strange ways, but part of me feels like my love for him died the second he called me a murderer, and I don't know how we could possibly work through this.
I also really don't want to be thought of in this way, and I have no idea if he has said anything to people we know.
I obviously haven't.
A brain tumor or psychotic break has crossed my mind and I suggested it to his mother, and she just said she'll talk to him. Other than the questions before, he hasn't been acting odd. Obviously he's been grieving, but he seemed sane and sensible other than this. I feel like I'm going mad. Does anyone have any advice at all?
TLDR, my husband's sister died in a horrible accident, and my husband, for absolutely no reason other than some mystery messages, thinks I murdered her.
Edit. It has come to my attention that I accidentally used Laura's real name once in this post.
Can I kindly ask that anyone who commented, "Who is real name?" delete their comment, as I really don't want this to bleed into my real life.
For obvious reasons. Fuck no.
You don't salvage this, you get a lawyer and get the fuck out. Best case scenario, he has just admitted to sending messages with his sister that he thinks would make you angry enough to kill her over them.
I have some ideas about what those might be and they're all bad.
How did the parents react when he did this?
This is not salvageable. You are now in survival mode.
Document everything. Everything you can remember him saying to you.
If he contacts you, do not engage, just document.
Get a lawyer and begin restraining order and divorce proceedings immediately. Your husband is no longer a safe person.
I'm so sorry. You need to get a lawyer to protect yourself in case he does go to the police. I would write down everything that you can remember that happened that day and keep it just in case. He may be having a psychotic break.
As stated, don't talk to him or his immediate family or your friends without someone present, or preferably by text or email.
Save everything. You need to take his accusations seriously and cover your ass.
Psychotic break sounds as possible as anything else, but even for a close sibling, that just doesn't make sense to me.
Especially if his parents aren't responding this way. I would definitely see about getting those text messages, because they either do not exist, in which case, he's nuts. Or, some real fucked up Egyptian royalty, Habsburgian dynasty shit was going on between he and his sister and he thinks you found out about it.
That last one seems outlandish. Yeah, and it is. But so is just randomly accusing his wife of murdering his sister over some mystery messages he won't reveal in front of his parents for some reason.
So, here we are. Get a lawyer first, then update us later because, fuck, this needs one. Get away from these people. Reopening the investigation would be the absolute least of my worries.
If you have to be around them? Make sure it's on the ground floor.
Protect yourself. Never meet him alone, record every interaction you have with him.
And try to see what kind of texts are those, something fishy is there.
And above all this, if the love is gone, the trust will be too. You can't recover from this, divorce him. Even if something like grief trauma, this doesn't mean he has to accuse you of a murderer. Is my boyfriend is low-key a creep 25, M25, F? Do other guys think this is normal? 25, F and 25, M relationship on and off for 8 years. I saw his phone last night and he has so many screenshots of random girls' Snapchat stories. It will be either sexual pics or just of the girl turned around and he screenshots her ass. It could even be a girl in leggings or some shit, but I just thought it was weird.
He also always tries to record me when we're having sex and he doesn't ask for my permission.
I know he watches porn too. He's a very sexual person and he's always touching and grabbing me and gets mad when I don't want to fuck him. I asked him last night, why are you such a freak, like can't we ever just chill without you always constantly trying to fuck me, and he just said, wouldn't it be a problem if I didn't want to touch you? Trying to make me feel good or something. We've been together for a really long time, like on and off for 8 years.
Should I run?
Is he weird and a sex addict?
Should I accept this? Do other guys do this? Edit. I think he treats me like this because I am a stripper and he doesn't respect me. He always puts me down and makes me feel bad about my job and I want to get out of it soon, but it's hard to find a good man in this line of work. No one wants to date me or take me seriously. Another thing to add. We met when we were 16, so this was way before I started dancing at age 22. Should I run?
Hell yes.
The screenshots of random girls would already be a yuck for me, but trying to record you during sex without permission and getting mad when you don't want to fuck him is way beyond yuck and well into run territory. This is not in any way normal. He's not a low-key creep, he is very much a disgusting person. You've wasted 8 years on this creep, don't let it become 9.
Yes, please run.
All of it is bad, but especially trying to record you without your permission.
Run and stay gone forever. He's a sexual predator, not just a sex addict. Recording, photographing someone during sex without consent is a sexual violation and it is very much illegal. This guy is disgusting and a misogynist. He has zero respect for you or other women. He sounds exhausting. Could you imagine living this way for the rest of your life? With your significant other obsessively creeping on women, even as he ages? I doubt his obsession will age with him, so he'll get older, but the women in the pics you find won't. It's only going to get grosser from here. Also, being nagged for sex is just going to make you hate it eventually. It's too much pressure and your needs clearly don't factor in. How do I, 26 male, address my wife's, 38 female, hygiene? I love pleasing my wife, but most of the time she smells and tastes like urine. I've been in the bathroom while she was peeing and I noticed she wipes back to front, which I believe you're not supposed to do. She has told me before that in the shower she just uses water. I know you're not supposed to use anything inside, but she has public hair and doesn't use anything there. It's a very strong and stale smell. How do I address this with her as gentle as possible? I really don't want to hurt her or make her feel self-conscious. Wiping back to front isn't going to create a urine smell, my man. No comments about age gap? Only when the older one is male? Why are you married to a smelly 38 yo? I always wash my downstairs before my husband and I have sex. Even if my IV showered that day, I wash before sex. Same as all the smelly partner questions here.
You say it.
Personally, I use honeypot soap on my labia, clit. Not inside the vagina.
Wiping back to front is not good.
My 36 female husband, 36 male, cheated on me and I am having trouble being me again.
Can things improve?
Throw away.
We have 3 children and our primary goal for staying together and trying to make things work is for them.
We have been trying for 5 months now, receiving regular counseling and trying to rebuild a newfound love between us.
His affair lasted 2 years and he has gone no contact with her but admits to still having feelings for her.
I am not the same wife as I was before this. I have become bitter and heartbroken from the cheating. He has shown remorse but then is still in love with her. I am cold and I am struggling to be nice to him. I try but then I remember what he had done and I wrestle every day with my feelings. I love him but I can't get it out of my head that he is in love with another person and might always be. Do these situations improve with time? Will my feelings fade in time? There are millions of adults who are permanently damaged and hate that their parents stayed in terrible marriages for the kids. Don't ruin their lives and your own just to make it work. 2 years is more than an affair, it's a whole other relationship and I presume he only cut her off because he got caught. Is the remorse for what he did to you? Or because he lost her? Stop with the marriage counseling and get some therapy for yourself. The constant obsessing over if my spouse would cheat on me again was worse than the actual divorce. I feel so much freer and happier. Just divorce. Your kids will be fine but the toll it will put on your mental health isn't worth forcing yourself to be with someone who didn't consider you, your marriage or your family. I will die on the hill that staying together, for the children, is ultimately selfish. It's hard because you can't forget what happens and can't forgive him. He still loves other women is not help situation at all. This relationship is already dead, maybe it's time to accept and both of you can move on and have a healthy co-parent. They do not improve with time. Your marriage is over.